Okay, I just had to do that because that's, well, those of you that know that theme song. So anyway, though, so today I want to start out by pointing out this is a very staged video. And this is a perfect example of lying to get an accurate picture of reality. Let me first start out by saying that, for example, I powdered the hell out of my face before I came on camera this morning so it would appear matte like it does in person, as opposed to like the way it does all on camera when it's all like glistening. It doesn't really, you know what I mean? Cameras do that. That's why we have makeup on TV, right? Okay, another thing is this. I played around with a camera this morning in order to be able to get an angle that would best kind of get everything as much as possible. Anyway, I'm still not there yet, in the shot. Okay, in order to do that, I spent maybe about 45 minutes trying different stuff that involved twine, Velcro, an upside down waste paper basket in the sink, which is where it's at right now. Pain in the butt. This is another good plug for purpose-built tools. You know what I mean? So like, if you can buy something that specifically does what it's supposed to do, like, you know what I mean? It makes the life a lot easier. Go for it, if it makes sense. All right. Another thing is that we got, instead of like the off-the-cuff video that we did the other day, just to save like a little bit of time, I did my mise en place pretty much already, and things are ready to go. I haven't done, I was going to do some prep on camera. Like, for example, we're going to cut this up right here. And cut up some tomatoes. We're gonna make basically an omelet, which is like a scrambled eggs without the scrambling. Okay, and I have red onion, so we're gonna do that prep on camera while I'm talking about whatever comes into my head that you might want to listen to, I guess, if you're watching this, right? So let's see what else here, and we have pan ready to go, so I don't have to fiddle around with that. You'll see in a moment here. Of course, we have. I'm gonna try something too. This is off camera. I have never done this before. I kind of have. I've heard about kale, and I've heard that it can be really weird to work with. So I don't know how it's going to work in an omelet. I know what I'm going to try to do with it. I was not going to look it up. I'm going to just wing it and see what happens. Here's my kale. I feel very liberal right now. I feel like a great Democrat. All right, I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to do a 4-egg omelet. Typical omelet is 2 to 3, 3 being the ideal, according to a lot of people, like Julia. I'm going to do 4 because I have a big appetite and I'm a little fat girl. That's fine. Let's see, what else do we have here? I was going to put brie in and cottage cheese. I don't know. So we'll see about the brie. I don't know. I never heard people putting brie in an omelet before, but like that doesn't mean you can't do it. Honestly, like, what is it, the other day that I did that I'd never seen? Yeah, I made some, if you look on my Facebook page is facebook.com/JTCSF. If you look in the pictures there, if you're not a follower, if you're finding this on YouTube, for example, go to, again, facebook.com/the letters JTCSF. And all my posts are public there, and all my pictures are public there. So I have some pictures of some lamb chops that I made recently, and I've been a fan of lamb chops for a very long time, but I've never made them myself. Well, I did the other day, and I asked somebody for a recipe. I asked Facebook friends, like, hey, putting it out there, who knows what I can do with this? Really simple. I don't have a lot of ingredients. In fact, I had pretty much at the time just condiments in my fridge, and that's it. So what came back was really, it was good, but I really had no ingredients to work with. I mean, it would have been awesome. Like, it involved some garlic, and I think breadcrumbs, which I could have done if I had bread, which I did not. And what else? There's something really simple. I have Worcestershire sauce. I'm forgetting what there was something else. Like a marinade or something. I can't remember. But anyway, I couldn't do it. You know what I did? I looked in here. I had soup, Campbell's soup. I had a can of like this right here, which is like vegetarian, like low sodium vegetarian Campbell's soup. And I had, let me see if I have another, and I had this. Rotini, hearty chicken rotini soup. And I took like a, you know, a little, took this right here, put those lamb chops in there. I took the timing and the temperature from the recipe that was suggested to me, and then I threw that soup in there. And I said, you know what? I've never seen this on any cooking show ever. Okay, like never have I heard like do this to lamb chops because it looks like something that, you know. But looking in the oven, I'm like, you know, after you cook a while, honestly, like I have a pretty. I can appreciate. I've been to Chez Panisse. Okay, I went with a friend of mine. The check was $500 for the two of us. So we each split it. It was $250. And believe me, I appreciated that food. It was fantastic. It's wonderful. Wine with every course, 7 courses. There's no menu. You don't pick. Everybody gets the same thing. It's like that kind of a restaurant. Very, very, you know, foo-foo shishi. And so, I mean, I can go there. I can also drink like cheap AA coffee and eat the fucking worst shit with like a bunch of drug addicts too and be fine. Like, I'm not a snob at all. I can appreciate the snobby stuff, but like I can drink Folgers coffee with a smile on my face and be just fine. And I think I try to cultivate that, honestly, because I mean, like when you do appreciate things, you have things that always try to pull you away from that humility and get you to try to, you know, be a dick. But like, no, be proud of the fact that you can hang out with like dirtbags and be happy. Like, believe me, it's a great fucking trait. Anyway, so moving along, I think I said enough on that. I think you get the idea. If not, I'm gonna say more on it later because honestly, like being around me is hearing about a lot of the same things over and over and over again. If you have the same things, I always say the same shit over and over again. The same, you know. So because it's important, it's core, you know. All right. Let's go ahead and get this ready. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here just because like you're watching a video, you should be able to watch something, I guess, right? Let's see, let's do this. There we go. All right. So two of my favorite YouTubers, though, I'll talk about this while I'm cutting this up, are Rick Beato, as I mentioned before, Rick Beato is just awesome, man. He's so down to earth and he's so smart. And Adam Neely. They're both musicians, and they are both like two guys that I go to who I trust, who I know, you know, what was it? Jesus kind of says that, you know, it's going to be like a mixed metaphor. I forget which. I was going to say, you know, good tree bears good fruit, bad tree doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, and they know that. But there's another parable where he's like, you know, you recognize your own people. You know what's cut from the same cloth and so forth, or who speaks the same language. And when I'm looking for someone to take, you know, direction from in something, in a field like music, I listen for how they speak about music. For example, like it's not necessarily do they parrot the same theory. I want to know that they're using, for example, the same sorts of phrasing about the stuff they're talking about too. I'm also listening for. You know what I mean? And if they sound like a Win Johnson to me, or you know what I mean, or they sound like a Walter Piston to me, I know that they're good people, and that's someone I want to listen to. Now, interestingly enough, in Rick Beato's case, is really kind of cool because when I first saw him, I don't know what it was. I got linked to go to his. I got linked to his website from something else, and I was like, the video was cool, but it wasn't a very technical. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't a very technical video or something like that. So, for example, like it wasn't a video that like would have sold me automatically on everything else he's gonna say about music at that point. The fact that he's a guitarist and he's in popular music, I just said I'm not a snob, right? Well, okay. Sometimes I am a snob. I was quickly made to realize that Rick's one of the good ones. But at first it put me off. It did. So I'm like, oh God. Because guitarists are typically not very academic music friendly people unless they come from that background. And it's usually very obvious that they do. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Adam Neely, you don't have to watch Adam Neely for very long to be able to tell he's an academic musician. You know what I mean? The way he carries himself, even if you don't hear yet what he's talking about, you can just tell by his demeanor. Anyway, though, Rick does not have that demeanor off the bat, and which is really cool. So you know what I mean? Which is awesome about him is that Rick, he's got all the chops. He's got all he's as a performer, and he's also got the academic chops as a he taught Ithaca College. I know this because I eventually listened to some videos that he did, which were kind of similar to mine, where he's just talking about his life and what's going on, not about music in particular, but the point is, it involves music because his career is music, but it's in the music is incidental to the point and what he's trying to kind of get across. And I like those videos when he does that. Rick, do more of those because they're awesome. Everybody, if you read those comments, says that they like sitting there listening to him. And it's true. He's really good at telling stories, and he's just, he's someone you want to listen to. He's a really cool guy. Anyway, though, few people are like that. Few people can be Walter Piston and like Brian Eno in one. Really. So Rick's got that, and wow, he's really cool. So it's funny because Adam now, another person I like also, who I have not been in practice keeping up with, but is also one of my favorite music YouTubers, is 12 Tone. And for a while, that's what I think it was something from 12 Tone actually that linked me to Rick Beato. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure, but I'm actually standing squat that way I can get into the camera. I'm standing at here's my real height, and this is my camera height for you guys right now. I'm lying to give a better version of reality. Let's put it that way. So I'm not really this short. I know that you're all concerned about that. He's really short. Okay, that's enough on that. All right, no, but so let's see. To save some time, because this is gonna take me forever if I do that. I'm gonna not. I don't need a whole thing for one omelet. Okay, so I'm gonna do half like this. Duh. Remember that skit with Julia Child? Well, not the real Julia Child, with Dan Aykroyd, of course, on Saturday Night Live. Cuts his finger and keeps on working as the blood's pouring out. It's pretty funny. The nice thing is, if you do that with peppers, no one's going to see anyway, with red peppers, so you can just keep going. It's good. And, cook it off and the germs will go away, so don't worry about it. In the kitchen, if you're alone, who's to see? In fact, you want to keep working, Right. I'm kidding, by the way, please, really. We live in that kind of world. You know what? Eventually, I have the culinary textbooks though. I'm gonna get that little shit down. Eventually, I know I don't cut like a professional chef, but hey, can't build Rome in a day, right? Okay. Do you want that? This over here, I like to do this thing, and it totally does looks like a cooking show, but it makes life really easy. You just get a bowl, you know what I mean, and you have all your ingredients ready. I thought about doing this all ahead of time, and I will in the future do that. Sometimes it'll be more about, this video isn't really about cooking. It is, but it's not entirely about cooking, because if it only was about cooking, I would be much more efficient in my presentation to save us both time. But this is also about whatever the hell comes out of my mouth and listening to it, for me as well as my viewers. And so I think that they know that. If they wanted to watch a show on how to make an omelet, there's a 3-minute one with Gordon Ramsay that's a lot more efficient, and you don't have to listen to bullshit I'm giving you right now about stuff. So if you're watching this, obviously we have the same interest. Okay. All right, so Ben, that's ready. And then let's go ahead and do this onion real quick. I like red onion. I thought I read something the other day about contamination red onion or something like that. So let's hope that this isn't one of those. If it is, it's been nice knowing you, and I'm glad hope you enjoyed my 3 YouTube videos. This is the 4th. God, there would have been more, but oh well. Okay. Yeah, my sink is kind of out of commission with this setup, basically. I love onions, period. I do. I love onions. I like garlic, too. So anyway, I also have some good news. I think I mentioned this earlier. My pressure cooker is coming today. Not my pressure cooker, literally, that I had, like my digital piano, which has been with me since I was 16, but a pressure cooker, which somebody has graciously donated, that is very similar to mine. In fact, it's the same. I think it's pretty much the same, except an older model. And I'm really grateful for that. So pretty soon we're going to be doing pressure cooker videos, and wow, it's going to be fun. Okay, so half an onion, or probably not. We're probably not going to do the full half an onion. We're going to do a quarter. It's been a long time since I was okay with a quarter. I can say that. Wink to my drug addict friends. Wink, wink. So anyway, so today is 41 days sober for me, by the way, and also a week and a day with no cigarettes. And I got to tell you, as far as like sober from drugs, like so far it's been a cakewalk. It's been good, easily. But cigarettes, just when, just the mention of cigarettes sometimes, like right there, I felt like an increase, like, nice right now. But sometimes it hits me, like, all of a sudden out of nowhere the other day. Like last night, I was about to go to bed or something like that after I did the videos and stuff, and I was like, I just got this intense craving for a cigarette. And I think that's going to go on for a while. I do, I really don't want to go back to smoking though. I like this. I started to have this from smoking meth too as well, like just smoking period. I developed over years and years of doing it, this like problem with my sinuses, where my sinuses get clogged, and so I have to do this like kind of crap, and like it's awful. And the reason I got to do that is because like when your sinuses get clogged, like you can feel it. You just like the pressure doesn't feel equal, and it drives most people that have it nuts. So that's been clearing up. You know what I mean? Like that's been awesome, and you wouldn't believe some of this shit that has been coming out of my like tonsils and sinuses in the last 2 days. Like the reason it's there, I don't want to bring back into my life. Let's put it that way. I want to kind of stick to it. So I hope that I can really stick this out with smoking. I hope that's the Lord's intention, because as I mentioned last night, it's really up to Him. One time, back in Maple Avenue, when I lived back there, I was trying to open up a package of hot dogs drunk, with the knife in this hand and the package of hot dogs like right here, and I'm like doing that, and oops, wrong. Wait, where is it? Yeah, right. Ooh, it's gotten better. Oh my god, because I've been using a hell of lotion on my feet, which also means I've been using it on my hands, and it's gotten a lot better. But there's a dog ear, what doctors call a dog ear laceration. I listened to the emergency room. Dog ear laceration right there. It was like a flap, like a dog ear, just right out of there. And the thing is, so try not to open up hot dogs with your non-dominant hand when you're drunk. Okay, that's the takeaway from that. And if you really think that's the takeaway, you're a fucking idiot. There's a lot more takeaway than that. Okay. But anyway, the point being though, that in addition to don't open up hot dogs when you're drunk, which is true, that's one of the things. Is that save your money. Okay, here we go. Save your money is a phrase that I use when I've completely forgotten what the hell I was going to say. And I just say that. And the joke is, the funny part to me, the tongue-in-cheek meaning, is that it has nothing to do with what I just said prior to it. So, there you go. So if you hear in the future me saying, so save your money, all of a sudden, that you'll know. All right. Another thing I say, too, is popcorn. Another thing I will do for that same exact purpose. And it's to make fun of me. It's to make me look stupid. That's why I do it. Because it's hard for me to look stupid, so I need practice in that. All right. Now, sometimes you want to separate these because it looks pretty and it's like, oh yeah, it looks good for the camera. But today we're putting them all together because they're all going to go in the same pot anyway. And that's what we're doing today. Tomorrow, I may separate them for the fuck of it. Remember I was saying that, you know, have a good reason for doing something, and occasionally just, you know, just switching it up will be a reason enough in itself. There you go. Stuff like that. All right. Not everything has to be. So, in fact, you don't want to be rigid. You never want to be rigid because, as many people have said, but the person who said it, who sticks in my mind when I think of this phrase, is Adolf Hitler, who said, "Bend or break, either one." And he said that in Mein Kampf. Actually, I forget where, but it's true. It's either you're going to bend, you know what I mean? You get into a situation like that, either you're going to be flexible to get through it, or you're going to fucking break, and that's going to be the end of it. So, you know, it's funny because on Hitler, Hitler's saying that, you imagine that he must have been telling somebody like, you're gonna bend or break, either one. But the thing about Hitler too is that he also understood it reflexively. So he knew that, you know what I mean? In fact, I think when he said it, he was kind of self-referencing it in a way, as in like, hey, I had to do this in order to get through this or that. I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and say nice things about the guy that killed 6 million Jews like that. That's really, you know, it's awful. But there are some interesting things about the guy. I mean, you know, people are pretty much, we're still talking about Hitler in the world, you know, all these 60-something years after he's gone. I mean, it's like, can't seem to get enough Hitler, which is kind of weird. But that's because the guy's an unusual character. He's evil as fuck, but he's, you know, you don't run into people like Hitler every day, okay? And Trump is no Hitler. I can tell you that right now. He only wishes. So, all right. Let's go ahead and cut these out real quick. I feel the need to point out, like, even though I don't, if you go to, like, everyone knows, I'm not a racist at all. I swear, you know. You have to be really careful saying things that are not negative about Hitler. I mean, because I'll tell you, there are Jews that will fucking take you down, all right? I'm seriously, like, and I say that because they do. Like, I mean, there have been some examples, and understandably, too, right? I mean, like, Jews have been, like, you know, for thousands of years have dealt, every society they've been in, they've dealt with, like, a lot of persecution. You can understand that they're a little bit protective about shit, you know, when they can be. I mean, understandably. And, you know, when you can, you do, right? And so there are some examples that when they've been in a position of can, and somebody came along and, like, made, I guess, a threatening statement, apparently, like, they did. You know, so, yeah, if you're in entertainment, bad place to do it, okay? You know? I don't know of anybody that ever said positive things about Hitler on TV that was ever on again for that more than that one time. All right. Let's see, here we go. I like the episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David is whistling Wagner and another Jew, a friend of his, gets up like, are you whistling? Are you serious? You know, all up in arms because, like, this guy, like, as some people are, like, because Wagner was a you know, he's an infamous anti-Semite. And many Jews don't give a shit if they like Wagner. They're like, you know what, that's his politics, but the music is separate. Okay, I'm of that camp. If I like your music, I don't really care about anything else about you. I mean, I do, but, like, I can take the music on its own terms, and that's it. And I'll do that because I'm not going to get screwed out of anything, honestly. The way I'm going to take the good, I'm going to suck as much good out of a situation as I possibly can and leave all the coffee grounds there and pull out all the great coffee. That's a goal of my life with everything. And I suggest that you do that too, because really you'll have a good and content and fulfilling life that way. But anyway, so he was whistling some Wagner, and then of course the whole show was about this guy getting really, really bent out of shape about it. And at the end, Larry David, I think if I remember rightly, I remember him having like a symphony orchestra on the guy's fucking lawn or some shit like that, like performing a Wagner. I remember that. I don't know if it was whose lawn it was on. It may have been on Larry David or somebody's lawn, but that's how it ended. And Larry David I love Larry David. He's the best. I wish I was Larry David in a way, you know? Sometimes I like walk around South City like, and like pretending I'm Larry David and trying to turn situations into like a Larry David show sometimes, you know what I mean? Because honestly, like, that's his style of comedy. It's like everyday situations that happen with a little bit of help. You know what I mean? And why not? Larry David once said that, like, he on camera as Larry David in the show is the he would be like if he kind of like, you know what I mean? If he, there's a lot of different, I know what he means, but like, I was gonna say had the balls, but it's not just have the balls, you know what I mean? It's sometimes like for comedic effects, sometimes like the things that you wouldn't say to people in real life because you care about their feelings, maybe, let's say, and you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. But if you knew that you didn't have to worry about that, you know what I mean? If you knew you didn't have to worry about things that like are important in real life, that like on camera, you can just have fun and do comedy. That's what he does. Anyway, Larry, if you're ever watching this and like, God, if so, I'm sorry. You gotta rejuvenate your career. If you're sitting home watching this right now, it's like, but anyway, so I hope you're not. I hope you're busy doing other stuff but at the same time, I'm pretty good. So I mean, if don't watch. If you're like, hey, I caught 5 minutes of this, I'm like, all right, that's cool. But if you actually watch the whole thing, I'd be like, ooh, in the shitter. All right, so here we go. All right. All right, there you go. That looks good. Oh my God, shit, that smells good. There's two things I have nearly orgasmic reactions to. Of course, food is a very, very common thing, but also dominant harmony. Listening to like literally the root progression of 5 to 1 over and over again. Literally, like, especially like, of course with certain ones, it's so satisfying. I can't get enough of it. And Adam immediately would be like, duh. Hello, that's why most music is built around that. Like, okay, yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thing. All right? Like, for example, well, there's a more dirty example that just came to mind. I don't think I'm going to give it right now, though. But it has to do with sex, of course, right? So let's go ahead and do our omelet right now, all right? Because we're ready. Basically, get our eggs out, crack our eggs. Crack our eggs. That's the chef way, by the way. One-handed. I'll tell you what's not the chef way, though. The little bits of eggshell I got in there. Well, only 2, though. It's not bad. Where are we at right now? 28 minutes. Okay. Got a fucking hour to make an omelet. You know why? Because Julia Child didn't give you all this shit. That's it. All right. She left it up to me. Thank you, Julia. You're quite welcome, Justin. All right. Here we go. So we're going to do... wash my hands. I'm just going to use a towel over here. Where is it? Here we go. And salt and pepper. I'm using the 26 Renfrew Avenue pepper today. Right there. We used to have, what's really like, I have fond memories, of course, like many people, the house they grew up in. I grew up with my grandparents. They were very, very cool to this day. I thank them. I mean, I'm a different person today than, like, very much the person I grew up as in that house. I think that we all are, like, really, because, I mean, that's part of maturing. But in certain ways, I'm very, very different from my family mostly because I came out to California. I left my family at an early age, and I came out and lived with non-family members in California at age 16. So, of course, you know what I mean? There's going to be a... but anyway, we had parquet. That was the butter in our house. It's like, it was, it was what it was. When you're a kid, you don't know. In fact, unless you're like Stewie on Family Guy, you're not going to be like, oh, parquet, like, and know the difference. I mean, because, like, fucking, yeah. One of my favorite Stewie lines, like, I forget who, Brian or somebody's like tiptoeing through his room at night and Stewie's sleeping and he's talking in his sleep and he goes, "Oh, yes, I'll have the coffee cake." And it's just like, if there would have been a kid that could actually do that, would have been me right there. I swear to God. Yeah, yes, I'll have the coffee cake. All right, a little bit of water. I'm gonna have to use the bat. Oh, let me see. No, I can do it here. Yeah, I'm gonna use the bathroom sink because this is all tied up. Hold on. Okay. Normally, by the way, I want to say too, I am very disgusted at the thought of using bathroom sinks for culinary stuff. I don't mind my bathroom, I'll tell you why. You know why? Because I cleaned that fucking thing myself. I pulled it apart the other day, pulled out the filter, soaked that shit in bleach and stuff, so that I'm totally okay drinking out of that faucet. But typically, in the case where I haven't done that, I know it's coming out of the same pipes and stuff, but there's just something nasty about drinking water out of a sink that somebody shaved out of and people spit in and God only knows what. I've known people that piss in their sink, okay? Like, serious, I've pissed in the sinks before, okay? So, like, the bathroom, you don't want to drink it, you don't want to drink anything that's coming out of a bathroom. You know what I mean? All right, anyway. The nice thing about me is that even though I'm okay drinking out of my, and I don't expect you to be okay drinking out of my bathroom faucet, no matter how clean it is, because you don't know that. All right, so here we go. Some people will be like, you get all offended, like, it's me, I keep it clean. I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't care. I'm your mother. I don't give a shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? If you're not me and I can't see it and do it, I am not going to take your word for it as if it's gospel. Okay? On most things where it really matters. Okay? I just boxed myself into a corner there because really, that doesn't really matter. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? You have to know when shit matters and when it doesn't, honestly. You know what I mean? You gotta pick your battles from day to day. All right. I'm really, really picky about who I drink, who I'll share a beverage with or eat off a fork. If I do that, it probably means I either feel very, very close to you. More likely, I have a crush on you. If I'm willing to drink out of your same soda cup or something, or I really like you and the social pressure is enough to make it okay, even though I'm not really into it, but I'll do it. You know what I mean? But most of the time, I'll refuse. I just don't. And I know. It's not there's no real reason behind it either. I know that I'm risking any disease. It's not like I just don't like the thought, and that's enough for me. All right, but I do like the thought of drinking out of. I do like the thought of eating Pringles out of Eric Moses's Pringles can after he's eaten them. So, all right, here we go. So one thing I'm going to do is I want to make this kale wilt first. So what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of oil in there, and we're gonna start this shit right here. This shit. No. We're gonna start the vegetables, and then throw the kale in there and see if we can get it to wilt. Because usually that's what you do with green stuff like that. So and I've heard all kinds of crazy stuff about kale. If it's a typical liberal though, it isn't gonna go easy. I can tell you that much. It's not gonna just wilt like a cheap suit. All right. But then again, Republicans are like that too. And you know how we know that? Because we just wish they would. And they don't. It's like, you get people give up, just stop. Anyway, all right. It's like, no, they're coming back. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. When, they just will not admit when they're fighting it. Anyway. But, yeah, liberals are just as bad, I'm going to be honest with you, though. They really are. They're just a nicer, more palatable bad, but they're still bad. All right. liberals actually like, there's a, as everybody knows, there's a smug coming from that group of people because, they know better. We do, and it's true we do, but like, sometimes that bites us in the ass because we don't. We don't always know better. But I know better. Unless I don't, which I often don't. Okay, so here we go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a chair, because I want to be able to sit and look at you while I cook. This is like Julia Child at age 95. She's like sitting down at the stove, like, all right, imagine, is that wonder if there's anybody like in a wheelchair that does cooking show like in a wheelchair? Not that that's funny. I'm not trying to make fun of handicapped people or anything like that. You know what I mean? That's pretty bad. No, I didn't. I made fun of Trump for doing that. Okay. Oh, it's good. It's very good. It's very good. Over high heat. Let's do this now. Ready? Oh, wow. This is cool. You know what? I'm not going to dare move the... Here. There we go. I'm very excited about this. And I'm going to say fuck the brie, you know? It was really weird. Jackie Mason was like, did a skit a long time ago, and he made fun of brie. He's like, who eats brie because they like it? Because I guess at the time, brie was kind of like, it was a new social fad, and he's like, that's the only reason people are eating it, because nobody would ever eat it on their own. I'm like, really? I mean, brie is good. It's not my favorite cheese, but like, I don't think it's something that, is nasty or anything. Oh, it does wilt easily. That's pretty cool. See, that's looking good. Awesome. In fact, I'm going to throw some more kale in there, to tell you the truth. Hold on. So I'm trying to use up all these, like I said, I'm trying to use up these ingredients. Maybe this will make me much more of a bleeding heart than I already am if I eat a lot of this kale, so I'm not going to do that. Oh, that's nice. That's nice right there. Ooh, yeah. I'm dubious about how I'm going to do this cottage. I mean, I'm not sure. It's going to be really tricky. Let's see what we're going to do. We'll see. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Look at that. Okay. So now I'm going to put my eggs in. And again, this is like scrambled eggs without the scrambling. Like literally, you just pour it in, and then you start to jerk it. And you know what? I'm really good at that. So like, I should be a pro at this omelet, right? Okay, here we go. The reason you start to jerk it, by the way, is because you're going to fold it. That's how you fold it. I'm going to let it cook for just a moment and then start to boom, 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 like that. How do I know how to do this? I saw it on the Julia Child Omelette episode. Watch it. It's really good. tune. Hold on. All right, you know what? It's gonna be like a scrambled omelet, which is all right. I'm okay with that. I'm cool. I'm not picky. I'm not particular. I'm very picky and particular, but I can roll with it. You know what I mean? All right. You know why? Because I don't want to break. That's why. Okay. So this is overcooked. So I learned a little something because I've never made an omelet here before on this oven. So I learned a little bit of something. Is that and drop the temperature down a little bit because I did do, like I said, over highest heat for this. So perhaps now you have to also remember that those ingredients cool the eggs down right away. They're going to drop. You know what I mean? They're going to have to come back almost like when you add pasta to water. You have to wait for a reboil because the pasta cools the water down. All right, so here we go. It looks pretty good, huh? Probably tastes like shit. No, just kidding. No. I bet it's gonna taste very good. All right, so hold on a moment. Oopsie did. Pain in my rear end ass that arrow. Just killed me. All right. There we go. All right, that works. Sort of works. Gonna work. All right, it worked. Good. Very good. Also, too, I'm gonna have iced coffee this morning. It's like our right here. What are we at right now? 44 minutes. Okay. My iced coffee. All right, hold on. This is what I do alone too, believe it or not. I'm serious. Like dance around to like Julia Child shit. Fucking. That's why I have a good time. You should too. Do whatever you gotta do to have a good time. Doesn't have to do the same thing, obviously, but enjoy your fucking day. You know. You don't know when it's gonna stop. You don't know when it's gonna end. This is not a dress rehearsal, right? have a good time. Have sex, eat food, love life, play golf if you want to play golf, fucking go to the amusement park, go on water slides, dance, read, suck dick, eat pussy, do whatever you gotta do. Have fun. Pretend you have a pussy, I don't know, you know, pretend you have a dick. That's popular nowadays. Have fun. This creamer, unfortunately, it leaves a few things to be desired. But you know what? It works. It was free. Thank you very much, Peter, by the way. It's awesome. You've done so much for me. All right, that's enough of that theme song. Okay. I tried to find the other one. I was thinking the other French stuff, French. I tried to mess it up and I got it right. Oh, wow. Isn't that a metaphor? Okay, now I'm going to use the sugar, which is holding this up here. So. And the self-disgust is about to kick in right now. There we go. It already kicked in. It really did. This is the most unpretty looking iced coffee for camera ever, but you know what? Sometimes we're unpretty, aren't we? All of us are. I was really unpretty to Eric Moses yesterday, and I feel really bad about that. I'm sorry, Eric, and I gotta tell you right now, whether you like it or not, there's a video coming up after this breakfast that is devoted solely to you, about you, and so I have a lot to say, and I apologize for it. I love you. All right. Bon appetit. Do you know what that means, by the way? Good appetite in French. And how can you not have a good appetite when there's kale in it, right? I hear gagging. What the hell? Shut up. By the way, not bad. Needs more salt. Not less salt, more salt. Remember I talked about water on the plate? You know what that's from? Not from my eggs. It's from the water, obviously the water content in the vegetables. So it does the same thing. Honestly, like if you're serving food, that's not pretty. You should not ever serve food to somebody. I mean, it's one thing if, you know what I mean? You know when it's okay, when it's not. But really, like, ideally, you should strive not to. Even if it is your best friend, even if it's your husband or your wife or whatever. Like, you know why? It's not that they, like, are going to care. Of course they're not going to care. They love you and, like, they kiss you with morning breath. They're not going to freak out, hopefully. Hopefully they're not going to beat you up over, like, you know, water on the fucking plate. If they do, you need to find a new spouse. But, But the reason that you should strive not to leave the water on the plate is because it's just you should strive to do things the way they're supposed to be done. And ideally that way, when the going gets tough and things get stressful, you'll already have good habits that are automatic. And things will be easy for you. All right, well, 50 minutes. I think I'm going to go ahead and upload this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope that, you know, maybe you learned some cooking. And I hope that you also learned something about life today. And I hope that you got as much amusement out of saying, like, me telling you to suck dick on camera as I did. All right? I love you all. Bye. Well, okay, bye as soon as I can find the button. There you go. Bye. Oh, and God bless and Godspeed. We're not going until we say grace. Hold on. Sorry. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God is great. God is good. That is why we eat this food. For these and all his mercies, God's holy name be blessed and praised through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. From whom all good things come, through whom every good flavor is. The viewer's going to find that word, and whatever you came up with is it. Okay, right there. Because that's a good way to say I fucking drew a blank. That happens all the time, by the way. You get really good at extemporaneous prayer and blessings and stuff, and if you don't for a while, sometimes like, boom. You know, that's how they know that priests are coming down with Alzheimer's right there. They're like, all of a sudden they just start, you know, when they do their extemporaneess blessings, they just stop all of a sudden, like, uh-oh, this one's going to go. That's why the Episcopal Church probably has a mandatory retirement age of 72 years old. All right, anyway, God bless. I love you all. Goodbye.